Thank you, everybody, for showing up. We are getting started shortly. Yeah, that little beat gotta go, man. I be getting a big kick out that bad boy.
It does kind of go, and I'm glad that you did it, because if I did it, that thing would have ran twice. I'd be like,
yo, I feel that. Listen, look. I know some of y'all out there are like, what? Why are we having a live? You ain't tell nobody. I know I didn't tell nobody. We just felt like it. The spirit moved us, and we was like, this Arcane is too good. Arcane is too good. Dune Prophecy is coming out the gates kind of, in a respectable fashion. Rakai was like, me and Rakai had a conversation. Was like, we got to talk about this. We need to see what the people think. And just in case y'all wondering, yes, we have done the very first episode of Dune Prophecy. Hopefully it'll be out tomorrow. We couldn't get it out today. We've been just pumping out units like nobody's business, man. It's been crazy. Right. It is, but it is coming. Rakai, how you feeling, brother?
Hello, governor.
Hey! Yo, I love this, man.
I'm doing all right, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a late evening. It's a late night on a Monday night, man. But what better to talk about than Arcane, Dune, whatever else that the wonderful viewers have in store for us? Like, I'm ready. Let's talk about it. Let's do it.
Yeah, I hear that. Big shout outs to Andrew Roberts. Greetings from the UK here. Thank you from across the pond. I know it's crazy early in the morning or late. I don't know. What is it? Like 8 hours? I always get it mixed up. It's late. It's
right now. Listen, right now it is 2 o'clock in the morning in the UK.
Oh my goodness, my God. I'm sorry. Got you up this early in the morning, man, on a Monday morning. That's insane. Yo, big shout out to Dashnu. Excuse me. I hope I said that correctly. Hey, Syntell, when's the next Sherlock reaction coming up? We actually just got done recording the season 4 season finale today, and that should be out Thursday, but tomorrow we should have episode 2 coming out, hopefully
season 4.
Season 4.
Yeah, and in case you're wondering, I am a little bit behind. I was a little under weather, wasn't feeling quite myself, but I am back. I'm back on the train. So my deep dives for them will be coming out soon. So
yes. Excellent. That's what I'm talking about. Huge shout out to Todd Stephen Burrows. Hey, what's going on, man? The OG Triple OG. You're not watching Arcane right now, but you are watching Ken Burns Da Vinci. Okay. All right. Have a good show.
Ken Burns Da Vinci. What is that?
That is, I'd have to let Todd explain that to be a little bit more thorough. I don't know if y'all are caught on it.
There was a show some years ago. It was on, I want to say it was on Stars, called Da Vinci's Demons. That was absolutely magnificent.
Okay.
But I don't think he's talking about the same thing we talk about. So,
well, I'm going to go ahead and just drop something real quick in case y'all are wondering. Todd is a fan of the community. I'm going to go ahead and just drop his socials on there. Y'all check him out. Check out his Twitter. Go ahead and give you some free promotion for you, my guy. Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation. And yes, we are going to be doing Arcane, and yes, there will be spoilers at least up to episode 6 See what's going on. Ali, hey, what do you guys think about Arcane ending with only 2 seasons? Yeah, we're gonna hit the ground. We're gonna hit the ground running real quick. Go ahead and kind of get this boy started. Let me go ahead and drop this this quick warning. There will be spoilers for those who have not seen Arcane. And what are you doing if you have not watching Arcane? What are you doing? Come on now, like I need y'all to catch up. There's too many people running around in these streets every talking about Arcane. What's Arcane? I don't understand. It's making me frustrated. all this hotness out here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, do you want to take a stab at this one first? Oh, hold on. Before you do. Mm-hmm. Just to let you know, if for those that have been on these live streams before, y'all know how this goes. We are going to go down the list one by one for all the comments that you have. And we are going to try our best to answer every comment that we possibly can. This is an AMA, ask us anything. But as you looked on the thumbnail, you will see one of the characters of Arcane. Primarily, we would like the conversation to be kind of like in the general area of Arcane, but we are happy and willing to kind of like veer off the path. Now, for those that just absolutely have to get their question out, like, now I need your answer right now. That's what the super chats are for. But fortunately for us, you'll be supporting a content creator by donating through those super chats. But in the meantime, if you just want to wait, and you have all the patience in the world, we will be going down bit by bit. So to retort, go back to what Ali said, hey, what do you guys think about Arcane ending with only 2 seasons? Go on and jump on that grenade real quick.
Like Steve Rogers. When you do so, case in point, we finished through the Discord, through the Patreon. So if you're not subscribed to Syntell's Patreon or to the Discord, it'll be in the description. We finished watching with our live audience in Discord Sherlock season 4, episode 3. So basically the series finale today. And the one thing that we're able to look at it is like sometimes you can overstay your welcome. You know, and it's one of those things. Yes, as consumers, we want more. We're loving it, and we want more. However, the showrunners said that they always plan this to be a 2-season arc, 9 episodes. 18 episodes total for the amount of money that they said, because they're going to open up and do a lot more things to ingratiate us to the world of League of Legends. This was just the opening thing. And based on this, listen, I'm all for it. I'm all in because, I don't know what, I have no idea what that type of industry, what that costs to make per episode or to pay all the artists.
Yeah.
But the artists, I think they got their money's worth out of this. There's several other things that you could say. You could show me several Marvel projects, some Star Wars projects, and tell me they cost the same, if not more than this for 1 season. And I'd be like, what did they do with the money? Because, I was like, okay, we got some sci-fi stuff or whatever, some special effects. I was like, them CGI dudes was just stealing their money. This right here was a labor of love. This was a passion. The amount of care that has went into this, the first season, and these first 6 episodes of season 2 it's phenomenal. I can't say enough for it. If they can do what they've done so far in these last 3 episodes, that might be chef's kiss. It might be one of the greatest animated properties ever.
Yeah. Look, I'll jump out there. It's in my top 2. I used to say it was like my top 5 regarding animated series. Let me be very specific. Animated series is in my top 2. And I feel that we're reaching an age where less is more. Because we're letting a lot of series and stuff just kind of just hanging around. It's like, come on. You're kind of like losing some of the magic when we get some of these series where it's like we're only going to do these 2 seasons. What you get is what you get, and there's something about those episodes feeling finite too that I really enjoy. Like I know there's not going to be nothing else, You know, a lot of times you'll watch something, it's like, yeah, well, you know, I know season 3 or 4 and 5 and all that's going to be going on. So there, it doesn't have as much, the stakes aren't as high. Like Lost feels a lot differently too when you know that it's the end. You know, it's not, there's not a lot of plot armor that's going to save some people. And we, you know, in Arcane, we just got done suffering a massive, huge loss to season 2 already. And that's, you know, potentially, we haven't seen the body yet, so we don't know. But potentially, you know, that's a forever kind of thing. And I like that. I like my stakes to be high. I am getting tired of there always being a magic bullet or some new dimensional plane or they had a twin or whatever it is. Let things it start these things, you know. Let things be final and be done. So Arcane only getting 2 seasons makes every episode feel special. You know, we're now, we only have 3 episodes left. It's 3 and it's done. And I promise you, because I know that, I'm going to be watching each episode with bated breath. I'm looking forward to that.
You know, here's the thing about it too. If it's doing its job, which for me it is, then once you watch this particular property and you know that there's more stuff out there, then you do what you should do, is go to the internet and start devouring all of the other information you can. I had to look up some stuff. Like I had to know. I know that there's games and things out there. Like it should drive you to the other properties because you want to know more. You want to get involved in this world. We were talking about this last night when we were watching Dune Prophecies.
Yeah.
And we said, you know, the thing is, could you come in cold and watch Dune Prophecies if you've not seen the movies? And that's a question. Some might say yes, some might say no. But the thing is, if it's doing its job,
right,
then you got to go watch the movies. You got to go read the books. I read the books a long time ago, and I don't remember all the details in the books. And the movies are not even close to the books. They tried in 1984, and it was weird, but it became a cult classic because you're like, this all we got, so we just gotta roll with it. Yeah. And then the Sci-Fi Channel did a mini series, and they did like 2 seasons. They did basically the first movie or whatever, and that was actually really good. And then they did the second one, like Messiah and Children of Dune.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what is y'all doing? Did y'all read the same book we read?
Yeah, I did like that sci-fi series. That was
y'all was doing so good, and then it just what?
Yeah.
And then Dennis Villeneuve.
Yeah. Just Denny V. Yeah.
He knocked that thing out the park. So,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So any strong property you want to go and be, you know, I am a diehard Star Wars fan, and for years now the movies have been letting us down. However, there are some strong things in there. And it's just like I remember having an argument with somebody who told me he was a Star Wars fan. He wanted to argue me, and I was like, "Oh," I said, "Well, you know, this happened to this character," and he's like, "Who's that?" I was like, "Wait, time out, pause. What the hell?" I was like, "Wait, you haven't seen the Clone Wars?" He's like, "No." "You haven't seen Rebels?" "No." I was like, "Why not?" He said, "Well, they're anime. Those are cartoons. Those are for kids." Shut your face. Stop talking to me. You ain't no Star Wars fan. Me and you, we're not the same. They're not like us. They're not like us. Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yo, that's true. Let me hop to the next question real quick. Thank you, Ali, for that. This one is the next question coming up from Sean Raya, who said, "I feel $250 million for 18 episodes was cheap. Huh? Discontinued. You want to take a stab at that? You got a comment for that?"
Again, that's one of those things. I saw a comment from someone else that said their series that they put out, it's another animated series. What is it, like Miraculous, like Cat Noir or something? It's very kiddie. It's, it's elementary. They said, well, $250 million, that would have funded 25 seasons of my show. And I was like, yeah, but
Does
is
anybody want
your
to see this show?
yeah, I mean, no, I mean, people watch that show. I remember my daughter watched that show when she was in elementary school,
Mhm.
and that's who it's for. I was like, your show ain't gonna be up for no Oscars. What are you talking about? Like, these two things
Mm,
are not the same.
that's
You
true.
know what I'm saying? Like, don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot compare things that don't say uh that 70s show
Mm,
is the same as Dune the movie.
right.
It's not. It's
Yeah.
not. They're not even in the same, realm. So talking about the budget of this should be this because it would pay for my show. Well, I mean, that's all well and good. You got
Mm,
to work with what you got to work with.
right.
They had $250 million. They said that was always the number. That wasn't nothing to them.
Mm,
And not only that, they're setting up an entire universe off of the strength of this.
mm,
This is so good that once it's over with, when they say the next thing is coming out from League of Legends, the makers of Arcane, you're gonna be all over it because you're like, I know that was good. This is gonna be good too.
yeah. Yeah. 250 is a lot. Uh, those
Is it?
numbers have gotten me to me it is. I mean, it's $250 million. And those numbers have had me jaded for other projects before. Case in point, the rings
Rings of
of the rings
Power.
of power. When I saw the price tag, it totally changed how I felt about the movie. In case you didn't know, it was almost a $500 million, just $450 million for the Rings of Power. And then when I saw it, I was expecting to have $450 million worth of production value, and I just didn't get that.
Exactly.
So it
Mhm.
it ruined the experience for me. But with this one, to see the level of quality that Arcane is bringing, $250, 250 million sounds like fine. Sure, you even got to throw another 100 million to make it look better. That's fine. You've earned it. You've actually earned that price.
Mhm.
But 250, that's a lot, man. This is insane. Like, it's crazy to think that one project like this, depending on the size of the studio, can bankrupt the studio,
Mhm.
if it doesn't hit. And these are big gambles. These are big swings. And I do appreciate it when it works, but when it doesn't work, it looks disastrous. Rings of Power. I'm looking dead at you.
Looking at you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Shauna Wright. Thank you. We're going to try, in case you're all just coming in, we're going to try and address every single comment if we can. If you have something that you just absolutely oppressed to have to say, that is what the super chat's for. And if you don't mind
Look,
just being patient, we'll try and get there as soon as we can.
that's
See
the
that.
thing. I don't know. Is that really a lot of money? 250 million for 18 episodes. You're talking about, I don't know, 12 million an episode or something like that, 13 million an episode or whatever, which seems like a lot of money. But everything costs a ridiculous amount of money today. Like, groceries cost a ridiculous amount of money. I was every year to get a 30-second commercial on the Super Bowl is a ridiculous amount of money. And that's because you know how many eyes that you're going to have on it. And I think if you know in your heart of hearts that you
Yeah.
have something and you want to pay people to not cut any corners, because that was the same argument that we had about Jujutsu Kaisen.
Mm-hmm.
Jujutsu Kaisen won almost all the awards at the Anime Awards this year,
Yeah.
but the people behind it is like, listen, we know that y'all wanted this, and we rushed it out the door. This was only 40% finished,
Mm,
and there was a couple episodes that's like, wait, this was 40%. What
mm.
the hell would it look like if it had been 100%? Whoa, and so I'm okay. These people, they took their time and put the care into it, and if this is 100%, I'm for it because
Yeah.
some of this is absolutely amazing, and that's beyond just the animation and the artwork. The artwork is something to be revered, but the story is right. The villains, the shade of gray. Sometimes I'm a good guy, sometimes
Mhm.
a villain. I don't know. Uh, all of that is great, and I understand that it is not completely in line with a lot of the stuff that came from the lore. Um, I get it. However, to me, that doesn't take away from the Lord. Like if I go and read something legal legend now and it says it something else happened, and this says like, yeah, well, I like what they're doing here. It's
Yeah.
clear that the people who are putting this show together, they are very well versed in the lore and they know what they're doing. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sit back and let y'all work. Let them cook.
Yeah. No, I hear that. Thank you to Fall of the 11th. You've been dropping some gems on here. There's
Hmm.
one right here that he said, I do feel the budget of the projects lately are just way too big. Like for Joker 2, the entire budget of the first movie was spent on just paying Phoenix, Gaga, and Phillips to do it, totaling $250 million. And that movie was horrible. I know I'm taking a big stance on that, but Joker 2 was awful. And it was definitely not worth that type of budget. And then especially when you consider Hollywood has been in trouble. To be frank, especially like the actual physical location of Hollywood, because productions are being shot in different places because of tax cuts, being shot in Canada, Atlanta's a big spot, Mexico, all over the world. And these inflated budgets are a big reason of that. I do believe that sometimes, less is more. I just got done saying that. If you can find a project that doesn't have these inflated prices, maybe we can keep the edge regarding the entertainment segment of the world, because the rest of the world is catching up. And a big reason for that are these inflated budgets. We just got done having an award show. What is it? A year ago when Godzilla minus what is it?
Minus one.
Minus one had a budget of $15 million.
Mm.
15 million. High quality,
High
exceptionally
quality.
critically acclaimed $15 million budget. And then you have Joker 2 with $250 million, and it's not even worth 10% of that, Thank you again. Let me see. You dropped one more gem. It said, are you guys excited for Daredevil Born Again in March? That's actually a really good way to kind of like change gears a little bit. I loved Daredevil. The Netflix series is what I'm assuming. I'm not. We don't really talk about the Ben Affleck movie. Yeah, never really talk about that. I thought it was great. I think it changed the narrative of what action can be done in the television series. Arguably one of the greatest fight scenes in Marvel cinema, much less in Marvel universe, much less just cinema, was the stairwell scene. The stairwell scene. I mean, excuse me, the hallway scene. The hallway scene.
The hallway scene.
Yeah, the hallway scene. It changed how we felt about it. And if Daredevil Born Again is coming with that same kind of energy, making street level comic book characters fun, because we've been so all over the galaxy and multi-dimensional spaces and all these powerful, to take it back to street level Marvel again, I'm excited about. So how about you, Rakai?
I love Daredevil. The story of the blind ninja, a lawyer by day, whoop your ass by night.
Yeah.
And I love that he's got kind of that Spider-Man quality to him and not Batman. Batman goes out here and beats up on poor people or whatever. I can't stand Batman's monkey ass. A billionaire just out here beating up all the he don't whoop the rich people like that. Daredevil's ass is broke. He's a lawyer. He'll defend him in the daytime or whatever. I like Daredevil. I like that because this was a Netflix series, that it was rated R, so you could actually get gritty with it. And actually, as much as I love Daredevil, I don't know if I loved The Punisher, because I felt it's one of those times that John Bernthal as the Punisher. I thought he was magnificent, the Punisher. Like he really nailed it. Yeah, I think if they go the route I think that they're gonna go, kind of back to the Netflix sort of route, and after the success of Deadpool and Wolverine, this shows, the House of Mouse, Disney, that we can for real do R-rated stuff, get nitty gritty, get dark and grimy, and it still be well received and well acclaimed. Yeah, I'm for this. Like, yes, this ain't This ain't for the faint of heart. Yeah, children, beware. This ain't. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
for it.
Unfortunately, we can't play sound on this because we're doing a live stream and we don't want to get hit with a strike or anything. But as you can see from some just the imagery, if I'm being, I don't think I've actually seen this all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces
I have
of
not
it.
seen this at all. So this
Yeah.
is my first time seeing this.
Yeah. It was so good the first go around on Netflix. It was exceptional. And I don't think anybody saw it coming either. Like I remember when they first announced it, that it was coming out, and everybody, immediately
Lost
thought
their
about,
mind.
the Ben Affleck, version. And I was like, I don't know, maybe so. And then it surprised everybody. It was like, oh my God, y'all nailed it. Y'all did the thing. So yeah, I'm certainly excited about that. To everybody that's just coming in, thank you so much. This isn't Ask Us Anything. If you saw the thumbnail, we are going to be talking a lot of Arcane, but as you can see, we don't mind jumping off the path to talk about other things. Daredevil being one of them. Let me see who else is next on here. We are going to try and address all of your questions in order. By some chance, you just have to get it out. That's what the super chats are for. Let's see. Let's see.
Don't be mad at me, Sean.
Also, remember, Chad, that we are well over 100 other characters in the Arcane universe. Yeah, that is true. I don't know how I feel about that regarding the spinoffs. I don't even know how I feel about the spinoffs in general as well. If truth be told, if I'm gonna keep it a buck, I just want this season and then to be done with it. Because I don't want anything to taint what I've seen so far. This has been incredible, and I feel like everything else is gonna sully the experience. But I know that I am a minority in that thinking.
No, I'm here for it. I want all the stuff that they're gonna roll out, because especially if they keep it, and I don't know if they're gonna keep it with the same people, but if they keep it in house and keep this like we care for this property so much that we're not gonna let it roll out and just be any old kind of way.
Right.
Then I'm for it, because the universe is very rich in diversity and characters and story, and there's so much going on that went on for thousands of years before Vi and Jinx and them even came along.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm all for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm right here with the Fall of the 11th, who said it's not about quantity, it's about quality.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if they can keep this same energy that we're seeing right here, this same energy, yeah. But
listen, if you learn about
that's not an easy ask.
If you learn about the Solaris, who Noxus has a thing going on with, if you learn about LeBlanc, who is the true leader of the Black Rose, listen, there is so much story here that couldn't even possibly be told in 18, 30, 40-minute episodes. Like there's just a lot going on here, and as long as they can tell it with the same kind of care, then I'm all for it.
This is a question from IMU, who said, get this back to make this the main thing again. Thank you so much from IMU, who said, anyone else noticed the flashback that Silco was actually the reason for the death of Vi and P's parents? That's interesting. So you're saying that Silco was actually the reason for the death of Vi. I'm trying to piece that together, because I remember the flashback scene when they were all sitting at the bar and we got a chance to see Vi's parents, her mom, and they were having a conversation and she didn't know who the father was, right? Isn't that what it was? Or am I missing something?
No, that was, and that's when IMU says the parents, I was like, well, who was the father? Because I thought that's why Vander and Silco kind of became the surrogate fathers.
Right. We don't know.
To both of them. But there was a huge falling out between Vander and Silco, where Silco disappeared and Vander took them on himself when the mother died. And I think Silco did something. It's one of those, so much happened that, I haven't watched Arc 2 again. I need to watch Arc 2. Like, I just I just was able to do my third deep dive for episode 3
Mhm.
for finally you got my name right, and that'll drop in the next day or so. But like I couldn't when we did our reaction, that was spur of the moment. It was hot off the presses, and I love the reactions that you, MC, and I did. But before I did my deep dives, I was like, you know what? Hold on. This was so deep. I gotta let this marinate a little
Yeah.
bit. I got to sit on this and maybe even have to watch them again before I, take off and do something on them. So I just finished doing the first arc, and then I'm going to tackle the second arc, and that'll start dropping before this weekend's final arc comes out. You all right?
Oh, sorry, froze for a second. We just had a small internet hiccup. We're back though. We're good. Sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, I heard most of what you were saying. If Silco is a reason for the death of both of them, I think that could be a little. I don't know if that's going to really change his. It
doesn't change. It didn't.
I don't think it's going to change the relationship with Jinx. I think Jinx is all in on Silco. Like, there's outside of him coming back from the dead and spitting in her face. I think she's.
Well, yeah, and it was whatever it was. If it was an accident or something that he was doing, but he completely bought in. Like Vander, he left Vander, to watch both of them. But when the split happened and Jinx found her way to his doorstep,
Mm-hmm.
It makes it even more special that he just take her, because him taking her in and looking after her and treating her like a daughter, the whole time you're like, what is his angle? Like, why is he watching this girl? Like, so to know that he's known their mother since she was pregnant with them and the whole thing, like how far he goes back, like he was always Uncle Silky or whatever the hell, you know what I'm saying? Like he was always that dude. So even the fact that the Jinx doesn't know that, but he still accepted her and took her in, like, you don't know how long I've loved you, little girl. Like that makes it even more special.
Let me ask you a question that's a little bit off the path. To go back into Arcane. How are you feeling about the magic in the world, or whatever you want to call this other entity that's allowing otherworldly things, the fantastical, to happen? How are you feeling about that, just in general? I mean, the title of the show is Arcane, but the magic here is interesting, to say the least. What are your thoughts?
Yes, it's interesting. And I think probably the biggest problem is that I don't understand it yet.
Right.
When they started introducing magic into the MCU, and you gave us Scarlet Witch, but she did this kind of hex chaos magic or whatever, and she just kind of made shit happen. But and then you gave us Doctor Strange, and now we start seeing some weird stuff or whatever. Or you even give us Agatha, and we start seeing some weird stuff going on. It's like, okay, sure.
Right.
But the introduction of the Black Rose Society, that's hella captivating.
Yeah.
Especially when you get to the part where Mel's actually being held captive, and the one that shapeshift and came off as Mel's brother and all that, like and I think, if I'm not wrong, I think the one that shapeshifted was playing as Mel's brother. I think that was LeBlanc. I think that was LeBlanc, the leader of and she's got one hell of a story. LeBlanc does. I think that was LeBlanc. I'm cool with that. Another cool thing that can be written off was that magic or not? Ambessa's right-hand man, Zangief, whatever.
Yeah, we don't know that dude's name. We just keep calling him Zangief.
I've looked up his name and remember it, and I can't remember because every time I see him, all I see is Street Fighter. So that dude, he dropped some metal pieces into the fire
Mhm.
and to like supercharge those because they had runes written on them.
Right. Yeah, the
And then
little
he
green
attached,
runes. Yeah.
yeah, and he
Yeah.
attached them to a staff, and that pretty much like negated a lot of magic and those power weapons. And I was like, I kind of like that. Like
Yeah.
he was about that business. Like that dude. Shagget said that that dude's name was Rictus.
Rictus.
I like him.
That's what it is.
Yeah, 5 minutes from now, I will not remember that. I will call him Zangief again. Like,
Yeah, we're not moving from that at
yeah,
all.
just like Loris is Wolverine. I don't give a damn. He looked like Wolverine. His name is Loris, but it's Wolverine.
Let's see. Shagget had an interesting question. This was did anyone else catch that the hex gate where Jace, Echo, and Heimer were trapped was cold, could see their breath, but Salo didn't. Much like when Victor emerged and said, "I don't feel cold." Huh.
Yeah.
Well, the very first time, oh my gosh, Jace, is it Jace? I think that's his name, because he was the one that was saved, right? Saved by a wizard when he was a kid, for the most part. Somebody that can manipulate the force, or whatever this
and
thing is.
then
It was cold then, right?
Saved by mail. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it was cold then. So maybe temperature does play a part into that.
Well, absolutely, because they're underground. The hex gate is like way underground. Not only you're talking about Zon itself, the Undercity is way below Piltover. So yeah, that far underground, 50 stories, 50 leagues or whatever it is underground. Yeah, it would be freezing down there.
When Chagga mentions Victor emerged and said, "I don't feel cold," I thought that was more or less his transformation just didn't allow him to like have physical feel. That's what I kind of interpreted as, like he's turned into something else, where pain and cold and all that other stuff doesn't really affect him, because when he gets done up, when he gets shot, he doesn't look like he's suffering. He's just kind of just fading. When
Jace asked him, was he in pain, and he said something to like, pain. Which one is that?
Yeah. So what do you think he transcends as? Also let's also tie that in. Is he dead?
I don't know. I think it's like one of those things, kind of like you said, the magic bullet thing. I was watching a little bit of it, and then I fell asleep because I was going to watch it again before I did a deep dive.
Okay.
And something I realized.
Okay.
Sky, who was disintegrated, killed by the hex in the lab, right? And that's who Victor sees. That's who's rolling with Victor when he's on the, now that he's the Herald.
Yeah. I mean, she came back, right? Yeah.
No, she didn't come back. That is the hex. That is the hex. The hex itself has taken on a physical form to influence Victor and get Victor to do what Victor wants to do. Remember how Heimerdinger and all they kept talking about that the hex itself, that power, the arcane, was not just you could tap into it, but it's almost like a living, breathing thing. Like I think of it like the TARDIS is a machine that the Doctor uses to go all over the universe. However, a lot of times he puts in the coordinates, and the TARDIS takes him where the hell they want to take him. Like he don't never go where he put in the coordinates.
Right.
TARDIS takes him where it needs to go, and then you find out that there is a living entity that inhabits the TARDIS or whatever. To me, and I could be wrong, but to me, the hex is the exact same thing. Like I think the way that Jace explained the runes of the hex and then the wild runes was brilliant. Like that needs to be in someone's chemistry classroom in universities or something. It's brilliant.
Well, I think there's a reason why we haven't seen Heimerdinger story-wise, is because he can maybe fill in the gaps, because he's the only other person alive that has seen this before, and he saw what happened, when people abuse the power.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because we haven't seen him
Echo.
or Echo at all. Like it's almost like two full. Have we even seen him this in part two? I don't think we
No.
have. So I think once we get a hold of Heimerdinger, maybe he can kind of like fill in the gaps a little bit. Let me see. We had another question. This one was from Yakai, who said, anyone else still depressed over Isha's death? Yeah, I cried for hours during her death scene. Not even season 1, episode 3. The one time Jinx was truly happy, and she got it stripped away from her immediately. Well, there's something Jinx had said something before the death scene had happened. When she was talking to somebody, she said something to the effect that anybody that gets close to me dies. So she's kind of like hexed. She's lost her parents. She's lost her surrogate father. Yeah, she's lost her surrogate father. She lost Silco. Now she's lost Isha. Like she is starting to really feel jinxed. I just feel bad for her because I feel like she's finally starting to get closer to a baseline normal. I think she's been more I forgot her previous name. Oh my gosh, I forgot. Powder. There we go. Sorry, thank you. I feel like she's turning more powder.
Mm-hmm.
At least with this final episode, and I don't know if she bounces back from this loss. I think she's kind of been roller coaster up and down. She just lost her father again, and her surrogate sister. So if she does go off the edge, I don't think she's coming back, man. It could be a complete and total fall. But to get back to the main question, yeah, Isha's. I feel better about it now. It hit me really hard, just because of the nature of it. But now that I've had a couple of days to kind of like sit on it and stuff, it was necessary, especially necessary for the story. But that was probably the toughest loss of the series as a whole for me. Total. How about you?
I hated it, but I understood. We got a foreshadow of it early in the episode when Ambessa was talking about the fourth discipline to success when you're fighting a war, and it was sacrifice.
Yeah.
And I think I'd have been a lot more broken up if Isha had been taken out by something that was accidental, or someone, aimed for her and took her out to hurt Jinx or whatever.
Right.
But the fact that Isha chose this course of action. Jinx was busted up. She was on the ground. Xander had hit her because he is now almost full on beast.
Yeah.
He's full on Warwick. And she's like, okay, that is the threat. That's the problem. It wasn't anything for her to become Jinx. Jinx meant so much to her that she idolized Jinx. Yeah. That's why she ran out there and did that whole scene with the police and got caught by Rictus or whatever. Yeah. But now she set up her own legacy based on what her estimation of what Jinx was to her. Jinx, you can look at it, from Caitlyn's eyes, or Jinx was a problem, Jinx was a murderer, Jinx was a this. But the way that Isha looked at her, Jinx was a hero. Jinx stood up for what was right, stood up for what she believed in, stood up for the people around her. You know what I'm saying? She saved Isha, saved Savika, was doing all this stuff for all the people of Zon, whether she really wanted to or not. Because she wasn't thinking like Silco. She definitely wasn't thinking like Xander, but she was just kind of doing what she fell into. Even to the point where she's like, and that's the thing, kids will do it to you. She got her little sister, got her somebody to watch, and she pulled all the way back. It was like, nah, I'm at the house, I'm reading books and fighting bugs out this piece. And Isha's like, no, when I met you, you was a folk hero, and you mean more than just, you're not a regular person anymore. You are an icon. You're a legend. You're an idea.
Yeah.
And so it was hard, and I know that you have this thing about kids getting killed. And if it was just, there should be some rules. Kids and senior citizens, you let them go.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but Isha chose that, and there's no more honorable way to go. Yeah, she's a kid and she ain't lived enough life, but you know, she stepped up. Jinx couldn't do it. Vi was too far away. You know, Warwick would have killed everybody. I hate it. I hate that it was her, but I get it.
There's also the Hollywood rule is still a little bit intact, because the Hollywood rule is if you don't see the body, it didn't happen. We haven't. Those would be two big monumental losses. I hope story wise they keep it the way it is, because it gives. I'm always about the stakes have to mean something. So I hope they don't kind of renege. But there is a part of me, just a piece of me that wants Isha back.
Yeah, like she went up under him with the gun.
Yeah.
She shot it up, blew his face off. He fell down, and he's just on top of her. When they moved the body, she's there all busted up, but she's barely breathing. You know, you like, yes, she made it.
Or some magic happens, and I don't know. Victor flies in somehow as a Jedi ghost. I don't know, something,
Victor ain't doing no flying.
But that's just it. We didn't get the Hollywood death, so all bets are kind of off, and it kind of leaves us for a week to kind of like soak that in and ponder on it. Yes, that's just gonna be tough. Let's see. Big shot. Thank you. First off, thank you, Yukai, for the question. This one's coming from Sean Amazo. Hey, with all the storyline going on, do you think we'll ever get a satisfying series finale, or just a finale to set up spinoffs and follow-up series? Let me start off with this. See, this is why I don't want spinoffs and follow-up series, because now that can become a real possibility. You're so worrying about setting up the next thing that you're not worrying about sticking the landing. I need the landing to stick. I need, like Rakai says, I need a Simone Biles type of stick the landing kind of thing. And I think a lot of times, when you're looking off into the distance and not paying attention to this masterpiece in front of you, because you're trying to make sure that's set up, you end up cheating yourself out of what's in front of you, because it's I want people to have that whole bird in the hand instead of the two in the bush. Damn the two in the bush. Damn the spinoffs and all that other stuff. Stick this. Make this solid and undeniable in what it is, and then focus on whatever the spinoffs and whatever that thing could be. So I do think that there is a very real possibility that they'll focus on what the future holds and not make this as solid as it possibly could be. I am a little concerned about that. Yeah.
I'm not, only because we went 18 episodes and there's a lot going on. But honestly, if you look at the way that they've done things, what could spin off and be its own episode, its own series? There's probably only one person, one angle here that I think could spin off and be another series and come out of this and not take away from the storyline. And that's Ambessa. Yeah. That's it. Ambessa and what's going on back in her nation and Noxus, and the problems with the Black Rose, and if they leave Mel a captive or whatever, that's probably the only place that you could go. You can't spin off nothing with Caitlyn. You can't spin off nothing really with Vi and Jinx, because then it's the same story. You can't spin off anything with Jace and Heimerdinger, Echo. You can't spin. Victor's gone. There's no other. And they haven't introduced, in order to spin something off, you have to introduce certain characters at a point. You're like, hey, this is such a such. And then they do something or whatever. And like, hey, you're kind of cool or whatever. And like, oh, next thing you know, this person got their own story. Yeah. We don't have that. And they're not going to do that in the last 3 episodes. Not. Just not.
I hope you're right. Yeah. I really hope you're right, because this is something special. I can't think of an animated series that has been this special with so few episodes. One of my greatest of all time is still Avatar: The Last Airbender, and that happened over what, 5 seasons, like 25 episodes each or something like that. It was some insane number. And
No, it's,
it took a while, not a while, but we had a lot of time to like really just sink into this world. This bad boy, you fall into the world and you fall in love with what's being brought to you easy, quick. The characters, the way it's written, the way it sounds, the way it looks, it's completely immersive. So I think it's special, and that's why I'm worried about the ending, because I want it to remain that thing.
well, that would be if they are continuing this particular story.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's thousands of years of lore,
Mm-hmm.
before we even get to the story, and they could very much, do. I don't want to say prequels because prequels seems like something that leads directly into the story. They could do something, um, like for one, Star Wars dumbasses. They won't listen to us. We have been asking. We want Knights of the
The
Old
Old
Republic.
Republic, so
Give me
bad.
Knights of the Old
Why?
Republic.
Just make it happen.
Like you could even base it on the damn
Yeah,
video game. Give me Knights of the Old Republic,
yeah,
and I swear they would knock it out of the park.
yeah.
Um, and I think in League of Legends, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of stuff that came way before some of the other wars and
Mhm.
battles and generals and heroes that they had that could absolutely work and be like, we've been spending all this time in Piltover and Zon. There are other planets and
Yeah.
other places like Piltover is not even one of the, like the crown gem of this, and it's
Yeah.
Piltover is kind of like the United States as far as history compared to the rest of the world.
Hmm.
A lot of other places in the world are thousands of years old.
Yeah.
United States is 200 and something.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like Piltover. Piltover is
248 years to be
48.
exact. Yeah. Yeah. Also, here's the thing too, and I think this is probably the biggest determination, the biggest factor on if it's going to be good or not. Are the original showrunners, the show creators, going to be on for the spinoffs? If they are, then I've got a lot of hope. I got tons of hope, because they're gonna fight for their vision. But if it's a showrunner that just hands it off to a whole different set of writers or whatever it is, then yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We need
Yep.
to know.
Well, the difference though is when you're doing a lot of other stuff, it's not all contained in house. Like Riot, the people working on League of Legends, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure there was an all hands on deck thing to make Arcane happen, and you
Yeah.
can see it in the art.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who wrote this. I don't know if it was a consistent hand or consistent contributions by people to write this, but I think that anybody who is part of that Riot staff, and maybe they didn't run this show,
Yeah.
if they said, okay, the next show is your show, go. Okay, I'm willing to see that because you know what I'm saying. If it's again all hands on deck,
Yeah.
this is the direction I'm going to take it. This I'm going to do it. You should still be able to see the quality. Now I say should because Disney, Marvel, Star
Mhm.
Wars, you know what I'm saying, that should be there, and it's not.
Mhm.
Um, and I think that's because the bean counters, the accountants, and the people, that handle the business
Mhm.
are more concerned with the business. They're like, we already got you. We know that there's a billion Star Wars fans out there. We already got you. It's kind of like
Yeah.
bad politics. I'm not worried about listening to your concern or what's going on with you because we already got you. We know you're voting for us. And I think that's kind of the problem with some of these bigger studios. And they
Mhm.
need to figure some stuff out. Marvel's trying to figure it out. Uh, DC then brought in James Gunn from Marvel to help him figure it out, and
Mhm.
I think he might go on and get it figured out. We'll see. Star Wars, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I really don't know. I remember somebody told I remember somebody said that when George Lucas did the prequels, that he didn't know what the hell he was doing. George Lucas, the guy who created the whole damn story, he didn't know what he was doing. I said,
from my understanding is he had it in his head, and he had the outline written out. But fleshing it out, putting the meat on the bones is where he was like, okay, this can go a lot of different ways. And that's where he kind of like may have needed some creative help. I wanted to jump to another question real quick. This is in the Arcane conversation. This is coming from SWN, who said, can Arcane be in the discussion of being the greatest show ever? Not only animated shows. I think there is an argument. There's an argument. It depends. It all depends on what these next 3 episodes do, right? Right now, it's just one of those things where it's kind of like the LeBron effect right now. Until LeBron is retired and done, you can't really definitively say 1 or 2. It's got to be done. You got to see the full body of work before that can be said. But right now, this is the barbershop conversation for animated series right now is the Arcane conversation. It's like, name me something better. That's the real question. Can you name me something better for as an animated series? You're gonna be very hard pressed. Now, as a series as a whole, yeah, I mean, The Wire to me is still goated. It's just the greatest story ever for me. But I'm very biased. I need the first to admit that. I have an emotional attachment to The Wire and Game of Thrones, the first 5 first seasons. I think that pound for pound is in the conversation. Breaking Bad, but none of these. Notice I'm not saying anything animated. For me, Avatar: The Last Airbender is an animated series. I'll pause right there. Rakai, how about you, man? Can Arcane be in the discussion for greatest series ever? Just based off of what we're 6 plus now we're 15 episodes in. Just off of these 15 episodes, is it in that discussion?
I think it has to be. I think if we don't put it in the discussion, then we're no better than, like I was talking earlier about the person who has not watched the animated stuff on Star Wars. The animated stuff, Clone Wars and Rebels, was some of the best storytelling in Star Wars still to this day, period. So if that's a real thing, and it doesn't matter, it's a medium. It's a medium. We chose, instead of going live action, we chose to animate it so we could get more done with the frames that we have that we're presenting to you to tell a better story. And that's why you go our way to hire the best voice actors to make it real. For animated people to be giving you all this emotion and stuff, and for your eyes to start sweating when you seeing some animated cartoons. Watch that shit on Saturday morning or whatever. This is not cartoons. This is not kiddie stuff.
No.
When you think greatest series of all time, you're right. The Wire is up there. I know some people might say Sopranos, some people might say Breaking Bad, some people might say the first few seasons, 4 or 5 seasons of Game of Thrones or whatever. And people have different reasons, different seasons or whatever, but based on based on this is easily one of the greatest animated pieces of content I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I think when you're saying across the board series,
it gets a little trickier, right? You think so?
It's in my
Is it top 5? Is it top 5?
I think so.
Series, period. Just series. Just don't matter. Just
well,
serialized shows.
We're saying that we're saying that a little premature. I need the last arc. I need the last 3.
That's what I was saying.
They have to stick the landing. They have to stick the landing. It has to go off and make your eyes want to sweat and be like, damn it, I don't want that to go off. Yeah, like Avatar: The Last Bender is up there, and I did not want that to go off. I felt that they owed us a last season of Fire,
Yeah.
because they gave us, yeah, it was started off air, water, earth, but we never got a fire. I thought we should have had a fire season. Um, Sean in the chat here, he put Steven Universe. Steven
Yeah, you
Universe
know,
is
my
strong.
my son loves swears by Steven Universe. I have not watched it. I have to admit.
Steven Universe is strong.
Yeah.
Is very strong. Uh, you know, and that again, that only goes into what you like and you know, animation style. There's a lot of variables there, because then some people are gonna start throwing in anime titles
Yeah.
and be like, yeah, okay, talk about this without talking about Jujutsu Kaisen or
And
you
and
know
and, and
whatever.
Jujutsu
You know,
solid, it is, but yeah, I don't know.
it's solid. You know, so it that's
Oh,
that
I
what
just saw something pop up. I'm sorry. Please finish your thought, and then I gotta handle some business. Finish your
wow.
thought real quick, though, real quick.
Okay. I don't know. I think that it's definitely in the conversation for top 5 greatest shows of all time.
Mm,
If it sticks to landing, then yeah.
yeah. I want to give a huge shout out to Kyler114. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your generous super chat. Hey guys, I enjoy your reactions, and also your discussions. Not enough people are talking about this show. Thanks. Keep it up. You know, I think this is a very uncomfortable truth. There are not a lot of people talking about this show. Even now, even with it being critically acclaimed, every reviewer, Rotten Tomatoes, I think it had over like 50 plus reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Critic score was still 100%. Still, I don't know if that still holds. I'll have to look it up. But even the user score was like 94%. I feel like people that are fans of series, fans of just this type of content, they know. But if I was to ask just any random person on the street, have you heard of Game of Thrones? They'd probably be like, yeah. Have you heard of Arcane? Nah. Like, I'd say 70% of the people, if I just walked up to them and asked them that, just anybody on the street, and I asked them between those two things.
Easy though. That's easy.
Nobody's really talking, like the masses aren't talking about Arcane. Like, people that geek out over this are. You know, like we get it. Y'all get it. Y'all out there, y'all get it. But the general folks they're like, I've never even heard of it, never saw the first season.
Because it's animated. Because it is animated, there are so many adults who do not watch things that's animated because they think that, okay, I'm grown, I ain't got time to watch cartoons. And they don't understand that all it is a shift in the medium. The way, you know, it's just like, you know, people that think that anime is the dumbest stuff ever. You are missing some fantastic storytelling. You know,
but I got to challenge that.
There's people that don't watch K-dramas because it's like, what's the point of watching that? I can't even understand what they're saying. I don't want to read the movie. You're missing some wonderful content.
I challenge that though, because Pixar was a $1 billion company before they sold themselves to Disney. All off the strength of adult-ish storytelling, still for kids, but still touched on themes that adults could fully grasp on and like really just take a bite out of. Why is that not happening for series? Why is that not happening for Arcane?
Easy. Because and I was watching something the other day and they were talking about why does Hollywood, if Hollywood is all about making money, why do they make R-rated movies and you know, stuff like that, PG-13? Because the most profitable movie to make by far, it's not even close, it's PG movies. PG movies are the most profitable for each and every Hollywood studio. So if you know that, why don't they just make PG movies if it's all about the money? But they still make all these other kinds of movies,
Mhm.
and part of that is like, even when we just had that question a second ago, when I was like, do I put Arcane up there in my top this?
Right.
After I had a little bit of time to think about it, I was like, ooh, it started to not tumble down a list because I haven't put them in order. But
Mhm.
then I started thinking about, because at first I was thinking about stuff that was here.
Mhm.
The Wire,
Mhm.
Breaking Bad. This
Mhm.
is, the R-rated stuff that's like, oh, this is the top tier stuff. But some of this stuff, uh, also top series of all time, Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Schitt's Creek. One that ain't nobody talking about. You know it. I know it.
Mhm.
Extraordinary Attorney Woo.
Yeah. Woo.
One of the best
Banger.
series I have ever seen.
Banger. Yeah. I hear
So,
that.
so is Arcane in my top 10? Absolutely. I don't have them in order, but in the best series that I think of all time, yes, it's in there. I look, you see Band
Woo.
of Brothers. Band of
Yeah.
Brothers was
Look at this. You see now this is IMDb's list of
I've
top
never seen
of the top.
Chernobyl. I
Woo,
don't understand how
Chernobyl is
Breaking Bad
good,
is
but
number
yeah,
one.
Breaking
I
Bad. But
don't
look where number 7 is. Look where
What,
number
Planet
7
Earth
is.
2 and then Planet Earth was 2 and 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, number 7, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yep,
Yeah,
yeah,
got it.
Avatar. So I mean,
Blue
it's the
Planet.
animated series, and then Bluey. How in the world? But I don't watch Bluey, so.
I
But
don't know.
I'm not. We're not going to go down this whole list, but yeah. But well, actually, let's. I challenge y'all to look at this. Look at this list. Let's just look at like the first. Let's look at the first 20. Where would Avatar? Excuse me. Where would Arcane squeeze in here?
It's hard to say because some of those I haven't seen. So I can't give you the validity. Like Rick and Morty's in there. Look at Sherlock in there.
Another animated series, Batman animated series. Arcane. Look, Arcane is number 25.
Well, I mean, it's in there.
So even with our own personal bias aside, as far as IMDb is concerned, it's listed as number 25, and I promise you, it's going to probably go up at least another 3 to 4 more spots
And
before
here's the
before
thing
it's all
is,
said and done.
I don't think that and this is based on popularity. I saw Attack on Titan before you took that off.
Oh yeah.
So there are some properties in there that are animated. I think that it's hard for anyone. Like, I can't rank that list the way it needs to be ranked because I haven't seen everything on it. There's a bunch of stuff on there I haven't seen. I think I've seen a little bit of, like, Planet Earth 2, or whatever, the Blue Earth, those
Right.
Discovery Channel documentary series that always narrated by Richard Attenborough, some shit like that. But yeah,
And also,
they're fantastic.
yeah.
I would not have thought of those in my top, but now that I saw them there, I was like, oh, you know what? They were damn good, and I was captivated. So I don't know. I've never seen Bluey. I've never seen the Vietnam War. I've never seen a bunch of other stuff that was in there. So
no. I do think that after this season, to go back to Kylar 114, I do think that after this season, especially if it gets another an award, because it was nominated for an Emmy, right? If I remember right.
Yeah,
I think it was nominated for an Emmy last season.
It didn't
Or a
win?
couple seasons ago. I don't know if it won. But I do think it was nominated. It's critically acclaimed. It got all types of awards. It won 4 Emmys. Won four primetime Emmys. Let me just put this back over here real quick. Oh, sorry. Let me am I on the right thing? I am. Sorry, there we go. Oh no. Sorry.
So how does it? So if
it
it won 4 Emmys, then how does it rank up as another one that just won Emmys and that we didn't say was Blue Eye Samurai?
Hold on a second. Sorry, Siri is over here talking to me. Yeah. Blue Eye Samurai. Oh, hold on. Here it is. So this is for Arcane. So there's won some Emmy Awards. Nominated for it won for Outstanding Individual Achievement and Innovation in Animation, Outstanding Achievement for Prime Time. So it won 3 for Outstanding Individual, and that's the colorist, the art director, and the background designer. So nominated for a Hugo Award, which is massive in itself. So yeah, so it's definitely, like I said, it's critically acclaimed. But I think it's one of those things where, you know, sometimes you'll hear about projects, they'll get nominated for awards and stuff, and people kind of like never mind it and kind of keep it moving. But if it does back to back, if it does it again, I think it could be a little bit more of a household name.
I don't know. I just think that the one thing about animated properties is just that some people, the way that they look at it is, you know what I'm saying, that they're not gonna do it. It's animated. They're not gonna fool with it. You know, my brother is one of those people. He doesn't watch animated stuff. If there's something really good that's animated, he might watch it with his kids, but you know, as far as he's concerned, he got adulting to do. He got adult stuff, so he ain't got time to watch no cartoons. He'll watch the game.
Yeah.
You know, he'll watch some other stuff, but he's not watching some animated, because to him that's kiddie stuff. And I'll be like, hey, sometimes you need to let your inner child out, my dude. Like, you know. And then it's gonna throw you, because some of you think you get ready to sit down and watch some kiddie stuff. No, kids can't watch this. They gotta stay in another room.
That part
for them.
Yeah,
this ain't for them.
I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Kyler again. Thank you again. And give you some of these. Yeah, one of them horns. Thank you, Kyler, for your amazing super chat, and thank you for the great question. I hope we satisfied you with our response. Let me see. There's another question right here. This one's coming from Sanjo, who said, I've been reading multiple reviews of Arcane season 2, and despite glowing reviews, they feel as if the pacing is too fast. Do you guys agree? Here's my quick answer, and I'm gonna let you have it. My answer to that is X-Men 97. All right, you got it, brother. Go for it.
Listen, you took it right out of my hand. No, the pacing is not too fast. Here's the thing. Would you rather have pacing that's kind of fast? And now here's what I think of when pacing is fast and the story's strong. Because the story has to be strong and have excellent pacing. Like I said, with X-Men 97, it changed everything, because it gave us all gas, no breaks. There was no filler. There was not a whole bunch of dialogue. Yeah. Listen, we whooping ass the whole time, and we not even gonna bother taking names. And it was outstanding. It was amazing. Yes. When you're talking to someone, it's easier for me to talk to you and you can hear me. But a real way to make sure I capture attention is to whisper, to talk softer and lighter. I'm still saying the same thing. I'm just saying it at a different tone, because now I have to force you. You'll be like, huh? Wait a minute. Hold on. Say it again. Hold on. Now I got to focus and listen to everything you say, because I'm speaking lighter. And animated stuff is like that. This pacing is like that. I'm behind on doing my deep dives. Usually I can watch something, and while it's going, I can multitask and kind of put together, okay, this is what I'm seeing. This is a theme. This is a trope I'm seeing. Maybe I'm going to do my deep dive, the little media therapy, go in this direction. I ain't even been able to do it on these, because it's like, oh, shit. I gotta sit with this and think for a while. And the thing is, you don't think that that's going to happen when you're watching something animated. You're used to Disney and something, you know, you get some Disney, a little Inside Out too, and you know, she's dealing with anxiety or whatever. And did you see that one part, you know? But it, you know, it's surface level. The reason why this is so amazing is because it's beyond surface level. You know, X-Men 97 was amazing, because if you're going to give me action, they gave me the hell out of some action. They didn't skimp on the action, and still gave me a strong story and strong villains to go along with it.
Yeah.
This story here, you got villains all over the damn place. I don't even know who's the villain this week. Because some of the people who were heels are now baby faces, and vice versa. Super strong story with super strong lore that makes you want to go and do some research on what it is that you into. And the art. Some people just not into art. I am, and the art is absolutely amazing. And there's people that go to an art gallery, they'll see the Sistine Chapel, and they'll be like, ah, yeah, that Da Vinci dude, he's pretty good, huh? Okay.
You're just not moved.
Yeah. And I was like, that dude laid on his back and painted a ceiling, you know, and for 16 hours a day. Like, it's just, they have lasers. He couldn't, pull up the stencils. He couldn't, what I'm saying? Like, none of that. Like, it's just.
Yeah. Let me head over to Dingus real quick. Dingus Ex Machina said, I'll be honest, I avoided it once I heard it was based on League of Legends. All I know about the game is that it can straight up turn people into overly aggressive POSs. I'll have to be. Yeah, so for many of us, including myself, I was not really into League of Legends culture. I do know that it is one of the more popular competitive games in the world. They still compete in League of Legends, right? It's like there's actual, what are they called? Like teams, esport teams that fight it out. I think like Counter-Strike is one of the really big ones. League of Legends is another super big one. There's like a couple more that are like super big. So I'm not gonna lie, when 3 years ago when they had the very first ads for it, and they're like, come see Arcane. It was actually Chuck. A friend of the station, friend of the channel, Geekish Network, who was like, yo, you might want to like pay attention to this Arcane show. And none of us had actually seen it, but he had heard from somebody, and he's got some pretty reliable sources that this is like some must-see TV that you gotta see. And then watched it, was completely blown away, and we're running into the same thing that we're talking about, right now. It's like, how come people aren't talking about this? And I'm shouting from the mountaintops. I'm like, y'all need to be watching Arcane. And everybody's like, what? First off, what is that? It's based off a video game. You can see their eyes glaze over. Yeah. It's like, oh, you said based off of a video.
I never played that game. I don't.
But I do have to admit, Dingus, I feel you. Like, it's like you hear about it and you're like, I think I can do something else. I can do something else with my time. It's not one of those projects that jumps out that you want to gamble on,
Yeah.
Just based off of the name.
Here's a comment I thought that was super interesting.
Okay.
So CryoSync said, that they never really understood the anime show craze.
Okay.
Comedy animation shows are fine. They love South Park, but they don't think they could ever watch something like Arcane for some reason. Which, first of all, let me say, since we are talking about Arcane, thank you for tuning in to listen to us talk about something that you wouldn't even watch, like, and haven't watched. So, that must mean that you think that we're interesting. So I'll buy that for $1, Alex. Thank you. And I think just for me, we're not talking about anime, because anime and some of the animation that comes on Netflix and from some of these studios that are not based in Japan or China or based in the Asian countries is a little bit different.
There's a cultural barrier that you might have to kind of get over to as well. Yeah.
Now, we do enjoy anime, and there are some fantastic animes out there, and there's some that people that I know that watch, and I'm like, I'm not watching that shit. It's dumb as hell. You know what I mean? So I get your point. Like, there's a lot of that. I'd be like, I was like, what's the name of that anime you watch it? Oh, I woke up today and found out I'm an 8th grade boy who turned into a slime. What the hell? Watch that stupid shit. It's good. You don't get it. You're right. And I'm not never going to get it. Like, that ain't the one for me. And but I think with animated things, it's kind of the same thing. As like, some people love movies.
Mm-hmm.
Some people love the theater, going to plays. It's a different medium, and you have to understand, like, Syntell here is a thespian. I think that I'm a thespian at times. I ain't like him. He done got some real checks.
I mean,
He
I
got,
throw my hat on the stage a time or
yeah,
two.
yeah. He got the kind of money that folded, you know what I'm saying, or went directly to his bank account. I was like, oh, look at this change. I can get a cup of coffee. Different. But to tell you the truth, I love being on stage. Because as an actor, you get instant gratification. Being on stage, you get instant feedback. Did they like my performance? I get to know immediately. It's yeah, you were wonderful. Oh, you were great. Or, boo, get your ass off stage.
Boo your ass.
One or the other, or you come out on stage and leave and it's quiet. You're like, yeah, I don't think they feeling me. You know what I'm saying? So you get to feel that. But there's some people who don't like plays. They do not like the theater at all. They don't like musicals. It's just a different medium. You can tell a story in different mediums. And I think that animation allows them to take certain liberties, or just like if you watch a couple of the episodes in the beginning of season 2 of Arcane, they're like montages, and they're telling some backstory pieces and things like that you could do live action, sure, but we can get so much more. But not only that, the art style, the way that they're doing, they switch up and do different art styles that lends to the story that they're trying to tell, and it's just absolutely phenomenal. If you can find the right projects, and that's a hard thing to do, then you can find some outstanding stuff that's worth your time. And that's how it is. You want to spend quality time, no matter what you sit down and watch. Is that quality time spent? You don't want to ever sit down and watch anything. I don't care what it is. Live action. I tell you right now, don't sit me down and make me watch some M. Night Shyamalan shit. You wasted my damn time. And that's live action. So it has to be, was it worth my time?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so I'm gonna go hop in my hot time machine and take y'all back to a little year called 1989? I think that's what it was.
Okay.
Around this time, Saturday morning cartoons are running supreme. Little kids waking up in the morning, spending entire days, adults looking at them like, I don't get it. There's no such thing as Cartoon Network. The only people that's making cartoon movies is Disney. So there's a very huge, massive disconnect between the kids and the adults. And then along comes this little show called The Simpsons. And at the time, for prime time, there wasn't a cartoon that was holding a prime time spot at the time. Little weird orange family. And the kids jumped on it immediately, even though Matt Groening was making like adult comic strips. Most people didn't know what they were walking into. The kids loved it. People loved Bart. My name is Bart Simpson. My name is Bart Simpson. Who the hell are you? That was actually one of the most controversial things ever said in a cartoon. It's child's play now. Like 3-year-old kids say that now. But at that time, when Bart Simpson said, I'm Bart Simpson, who the hell are you? People lost their minds. Like, I know y'all remember this. I'm sure you do.
I do.
Like, there was like
filth on TV.
People, it was filth. It was disgusting. You couldn't wear at my school. I went to school in the South. Keep in mind, but in my school, you couldn't wear Bart Simpson shirts because because Bart cussed, and there was other ones. I'm an underachiever and proud of it. Like, it was this whole thing. Like, people were not happy at all, but people watched. And adults watched, and adults laughed their behinds off because they had never really seen cartoons. I think the only other cartoon that maybe had come close to that was like the Flintstones, and that was like back in the 70s. When it was like, it's not really for kids, but it wasn't nowhere near the commercial success as The Simpsons. And then The Simpsons took off, absolutely took off, changed the way America, the world looked at primetime animation. Something like that needs to happen in the space that where Arcane is in, because it's still a very niche, very, very niche group. Like I just said, like I can talk to 10 people on the street right now and I can ask them if you've heard of Game of Thrones, have you heard of Arcane? 10 out of 10 will probably tell you they've heard of Game of Thrones. 8 out of 10 will probably say they have never heard of Arcane because we have yet to have that thing
and probably
for that genre.
8 or 9 out of 10 will tell you that they've heard of The Simpsons.
Yeah. So it's just
it's funny you said that about
coming.
The Simpsons too, because after The Simpsons was able to make that much of a fuss and do what they did in prime time, another little group of guys, Matt Stone and Trey Parker, said, "Hold on, hold my beer,
hold my beer."
You thought that was controversial? Hold on, let me take you to a little place called South Park.
Yeah, that was probably one of the best hold my beer moments in TV history when it was like, y'all think The Simpsons are crazy. You just wait.
Listen, the South Park movie, bigger, longer, whatever.
Bigger, longer, uncut, something like that.
Oh, that hurt my side. Like, I laughed so much, and it just like, I laughed so hard in so much of that movie. And most of the time I was like, I can't believe that they like, you know what? If this is the line right here, we all the way over that thing. What line? And I was like, wow. Yeah, and then everybody was like off to the races after that.
Yeah, it was off to the races. But it took a monumental shift like The Simpsons.
It took The Simpsons
to do it, and that just hasn't happened. And I'll give Netflix credit on this. They are probably they probably have the biggest reach to do it outside of, regular old school network, ABC, CBS, NBC, outside of like the big five. And they have been throwing every animated project thing that you could possibly think of to see what sticks, and nothing has really hit. There's also this weird oversaturation. Yeah,
Netflix is bigger than them.
Yeah, well, we just saw the $65 million deal that Netflix did with the Mike Tyson fight.
Because Netflix is global.
Yeah, but they're trying. It's not from lack of effort, but for whatever reason, it hasn't had that same click with serious animation. Like comedic animation, absolutely. You're beating a dead horse. That's done. But when it comes to serious adult-themed serialized animation, I'm trying to think of something off the top of my head that is hands down probably like the most popular. And I challenge y'all throw some suggestions out there. That's like adult that is.
I mean, but it's gonna go back to anime, you know what I'm saying? Where everybody knows like Dragon Ball.
Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Maybe Attack on Titan. So there's still room to grow for Arcane to become the thing. Yeah, we absolutely. Thank you, Carl Sink. Yeah. I know we
they're gonna talk about Dragon Ball and Naruto.
Yeah. Let me see. How you doing on time, man? I know we're already at the hour and a half mark, and I know it is late in your neck of the woods. Good. You good? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm trying to go down in sequence. Excuse me. Right after Cryo was Bash, who said, I heard some say about the pacing and open-ended stuff, especially regarding Black Rose and stuff. But the season hasn't finished yet, and fellas judge too fast. Yeah, we just don't know. We don't know how it's going to end. We're all kind of just. Let me see. HT Teddy's in the house. What's going down? Maybe they feel funny about getting feelings for the art. I'm looking at you, Mel. Let's see. Dingus. Here's a cliche phrase that'll never not be true. The earth without art is just Yeah, I think that's in reference to like when you were talking about the Sistine Chapel and everything. Yeah. Thank you so much, Sanjo77. Great responses, guys. Thank you all. Love the content. Thank you. Looks like we're changing gears with this next one. This one is from Sienna. I apologize, Sienna. I apologize if I said it incorrectly. I'm an avid follower of your Doctor Who reactions, so trust y'all in your opinions. I've never seen Arcane, but have seen the avid support. What makes it so stellar? I think for me, the thing that sticks out the most is the way it looks and the way it feels, especially the way it looks. The art style to me is kind of like, please forgive me for saying this because I'm definitely a guy. But if I walk into the club in my younger days and I saw this absolutely just stunning, beautiful, just woman sitting at the bar, I can't look away, right? I'm young and like, hey, how you doing? And then I pull up, sit next to her, and I have the most amazing conversation to go along with it. And it's like, oh my God, you're already a dime and you've got this big, beautiful brain to go along with it. And then it's just, and then she dressed fly and everything is just like, oh my gosh, that's how I felt when I saw
She
Arcane.
got a
The
great
look,
attitude.
yeah, I mean, the look got me first. It's just like, whoa, what am I watching? And then you find out that the story, was top 10, top notch. And that's the best way I can describe it for myself and on how it moved me. How about you, Rakai?
I don't know. That was actually pretty damn good. That was actually pretty good. Syntell and I say all the time that what makes for a strong property is story and villain. And this had that in spades. And like I said, one of the things that's so interesting about this is it gives you some of that Game of Thrones kind of feel. Game of Thrones changed the way that we looked at series in a lot of ways. X-Men 97 changed the way we looked at series, especially animated series. What this does, though, is it gives you an extremely strong story. It gives you people who are villains, and you are resigned, be like, that's the villain. But then they do some real human stuff, and you're like, I don't know how I feel about them anymore. It's weird. Like, I thought they were the bad guy, but they're doing some stuff that's kind of acting like a good guy. And now the good guy is doing some stuff that's kind of acting like a bad guy. I don't know. And it shows you that life is just like that. Like, it's never that damn simple. It is a lot of shades of gray. It's not, just this way or that way. And even to see people between the two seasons to go from this extreme to this extreme back over here to this, it's like watching wrestling. Wrestling is pre-scripted violence. It's a soap opera with violence or whatever. And you're cheering for The Rock or whoever today, and he's the hero. And then one day he does something, and now he's the bad guy. And you're like, what the hell? What the hell just happened? But I still like him, though. He's still a charismatic asshole. But I kind of like that, though. And now you're cheering for him, and now he's a bad guy. There's a lot of that in this show. Like, they have made a lot of really, really smart decisions in this show. The voice acting is phenomenal.
Yes, phenomenal.
The music, the score, whoever is putting together the music and the score is wow. Like, they deserve their own Emmy because they are knocking it out the park each and every episode. But he said it right. The look, the art is absolutely phenomenal.
It's breathtaking.
And then you throw all the rest of that in there, and you start looking at the other shows that you watch regularly, and it's like, y'all need to get y'all shit together. Why ain't y'all making stuff like this right here? Like,
that is 100. Yeah. It really makes you look at your other shows, especially animation, and you be like, dang, y'all been a little lazy, I feel like. But then, like, we just recently heard that that beauty came with a cost. It came with a $250 million price tag. So it was like, it looks like a Bugatti. That's because it is a Bugatti. It's very expensive. Not everybody can make that. But for me, it definitely made me appreciate it a little bit more, because I was like, that was money very well spent. And you spent the hell out that money. Like, I'm not questioning that price tag at all. I get it. Yeah, I totally understand that.
Yeah, and to be fair, a lot of other series that we watch, they got the same price tag. And I'm looking at you, Star Wars and Marvel. They have the same price tag for one season, not two seasons. And it'd be like, okay, Star Wars, they're rolling out a Ferrari. And then you pop the hood, and you're like, wait a minute, is that a Pontiac?
Yo, my man got the Fiero engine. Like you hit it too hard, it'll explode.
Bruh.
Yo,
Like, these not even real leather seats. What is this shiny pleather seats? Like,
oh my gosh, yo, that's funny. Big huge shout out to Crowds who can say, yeah, I'm listening because I like you guys. You have good discussions. Hey, thank you so much. That's the reason why we do it. And I can't lie. This dude right here is just absolutely I like, first off, you're the homie, but I love working with you because you bring out a better side of discussion with me, man, that I really appreciate. And I want you all to appreciate it too. And I know we haven't had a good proper plug, and it's not a plug. This is just truth. You all need to really get to know Rakai a little bit better if you haven't already. I know there's many members of the community that are already here. There's a link in the description so that you can go check out his YouTube page. He also has a Patreon as well. Please, as content creators, just be honest. This is how we eat. If you want to show appreciation for some of your favorite content creators, go over there, and say what's up to Rakai. if you can't, and we fully understand that, give them a subscription if you can. If you can't, I fully understand that because your playlist is so crazy. At least give them a like. You can do that. You can do a like. You can do a like. All right. So there's a link in the description. You can get to his page super quick. Rakai, do you want to take this moment to tell the people what you're about real quick? Don't worry, we're about to hop back into some more Arcane chat, but we would be doing Rakai a disservice if we didn't shout out his page.
What am I about? I don't know. It all started on one stormy day. I have an absolute ball working with Syntell because it's what I do anyway. I watch media, I watch TV, I watch movies. So having a brilliant gentleman next to me that we get to talk about and chop it up and laugh and have a good time just makes it that much better. And that's why we enjoy that you guys come and check us out. And if you want to even be a part of that experience, you can join the Discord, join Syntell's Patreon so that you can do it with us. We have live watches on the Discord and we have a ball. And some of the people here in the chat, Dingus and HT Teddy, they've been with us. They've been on stage with us and just, we have a good time. I take things that we watch and I do something. I didn't even know that I was doing this. It just kind of came naturally. And it's called media therapy. And where I kind of analyze characters or themes and tropes inside of something based on what I saw. I am not a therapist. I am not anybody. I went to school for business, and to teach. So I was a teacher for 19 years. So I've got a little bit of experience. I've seen a few things. I've done some stuff in the world. But just something I see, I'll kind of take that and break it down and do a little deep dive on it. So I give you kind of part recap of the episode in case you haven't seen it or didn't watch it all the way. And then I'll break down what I saw in that. And sometimes it's pretty good. It's pretty interesting. That's me toot my own horn a little bit. Toot, toot. But if you like that sort of thing, come visit me on my Patreon. Come visit me at youtube.com/Noopfromtheville, NUPEFROMDAVILLE. You can see it down the bottom. To me, it's always got to be about this.
Yeah.
You got to use this right here. But just as importantly, you have to use this right here. So, as always, thank you, Chef. I know we're not done, but
hey, thank you, Chef. You see what I'm talking about? I love this dude. Oh my gosh, yo, that's great. And we're gonna hop right back into it. We still got a little bit more time, so by all means, we are gonna try and answer as many questions as you possibly can. This is actually a really good group. We're not getting beat over the head with some stuff, and I want everybody to feel like you're seen. So please, drop those questions. We are delving mostly into Arcane, but we're not too shy to kind of like veer off the path a little bit into other content. But we are going to be trying to force the narrative of Arcane.
Hold on, there was one question in here that I've actually been thinking about, and I couldn't think of anything. And I think maybe if you chime in on it, where did it go? It was a Doctor Who question, and people know that we be on our Doctor Who.
Abhishek said, "I love you guys from Bangalore." Hey, thank you. I've been following Syntell since the days of Jabby. Big shout out to Jabby Koei. Without him, this doesn't happen. Huge shout out and thank you for following Abhishek. That really means a lot. I know you are steady looking for that question. Teddy, in the meantime, Teddy said, "I seriously need to get someone else in this house to realize that this is a decent show. Need to catch them when the kids are jumping all over them." Yeah. But also, just so you know, make sure you know, this is not for kids. That's the one thing, I wouldn't want you to set yourself up and the kids be like, they did what to that little girl? Big shout out to the Ultimate TV who said, "Hey fam, did you ever watch The Spook Who Sat by the Door? I just saw it at the Chicago International Film Fest and it blew my mind." I've heard the name before. I do remember Atlanta doing a show in the final season where they did a spinoff of that called The Goof That Sat by the Door. Is that in that same vein?
That was in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, in Atlanta. Yeah. What did I say before? I didn't say Atlanta. I said something else.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. But Donald Glover and his Project Atlanta. So I'm wondering if it's in that same vein.
Well, it was based on that, and the spook. I remember my the second university I was at. I already got put out of one, so the second university I was at, I was in the student center, and they introduced me to the spook who sat behind the door, and I was absolutely captivated. And I was like, "Who has been holding this from me? Why didn't I know about this?"
Yeah.
But but my mindset that time too was straight Paris, X-Clan, and Public Enemy. So
okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, just off of that list alone, I can certainly understand. Thank you, Ultimate TV. Did you find that?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Okay, I'll take that one out.
I thought this was interesting. I saw it. So Mr. Rue said, if Doctor Who was an American show, who would you want to play the Doctor?
Steve Buscemi.
That's crazy.
It's the first thing that popped into my head. Because he's weird and he's odd looking. You don't know if you can trust him or not. I don't know. When you at first look, he doesn't really have an endearing quality about him because he kind of looks half crazy. But I'm talking about like what was it? What was the first Doctor that we watched? Was it the Ninth? It was the Ninth. What was his name?
Christopher Eccleston.
Christopher Eccleston, when he kind of came in, he's kind of like all over the place. He's a little angry and stuff like that. So Steve Buscemi is just the first thing that popped up. If you give me an opportunity to think on it more, I could probably come with something a little bit more creative. But I just think he's quirky enough that would be fun.
You know what's sad? The first person. So Steve Buscemi, that's crazy.
It was the first thing that popped in my head.
Well, mine's worse.
Okay, what's up?
Mine's worse, and I can't believe because it's like I think about. I can't really see it, but I think if you did him kind of now, the way that he is now, but he has that physical comedy thing.
Oh, Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Yo, Jim Carrey would be perfect. Yo, I read your mind. Jim
Carrey.
Yeah,
Jim Carrey,
especially like late '90s Jim Carrey, maybe. No,
yeah, you think but where he's not full on super stupid, silly or whatever, but where he's a little bit like he would be like a grown version of Matt Smith, like super quirky. I think he would do a great job playing the Doctor, and it'd probably be hilarious. I don't know if that's what you want in the Doctor, but I think it would be great.
Oh, Dingus had an answer to this. I wanted to put that up there. John Leguizamo. Yo, like I don't know if you being for real or not, but I think that would actually be really, really good. And here, hold on, I want to add one more. If I had to add a modern day person, maybe Timothy Chalamet. Is that his name? Timothy, the kid that was in Dune.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I thought he did a really good Wonka. Oh well, obviously you're not going to beat Gene Wilder. Obviously,
Gene Wilder.
Obviously not going to be Gene Wilder. He's the GOAT. But the version that he gave was good enough. And then of course Gene Wilder. Shoot, if we're going back in the day. But I think Timothy would be pretty good. And Dingus, you on a roll. Robin Williams is that's the cheat code. Yeah, that's not even fair. As a matter of fact, I'm striking that from the record because that's too easy of an answer. That's too good of an answer.
You know who else would be good?
Oh,
but I don't know. I just think it would be too much. Damn, Johnny Depp.
Oh yeah. Okay. Pre-controversy Johnny Depp though, not.
Oh yeah, not
post controversy.
Crap in the bed, Johnny Depp.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. That Jack Sparrow-ish kind of Johnny Depp.
I only thought of him though because you said because we completely skip over him because it wasn't a good portrayal. But when you just talked about Timothy Chalamet as Willy Wonka, we don't even think about Johnny Depp's Wonka. Because the part wasn't right. You're not Gene Wilder. You know,
he was walking into a buzzsaw. He wasn't going to succeed no matter what.
But how much stuff that he's done with Tim Burton?
You see, Johnny says Edward Scissorhands was on the money.
But Johnny has done so many just really crazy, and he's got a movie that's underrated that is funny as hell to me, and I don't even think it's supposed to be that funny. It's called Cry Baby.
Oh man, golly, yo, you took it back. You went back. Yeah.
So he's got some parts out there. I think he would be great. Dingus said John Candy.
Uncle Buck, John Candy. Yeah. I used to love me some Uncle Buck back in the day. Yeah, but you know what? But he can't fit in the TARDIS. Even if it is bigger in the inside. Yeah, that's
the TARDIS get French
door. The door. Listen. I'm gonna tell you. Listen, I already got one. Listen, if you was gonna make it for the neighborhood, Bernie Mac, dog. I'm just saying, if you made it for the neighborhood, Bernie Mac, get your ass in TARDIS.
Hell no.
Going to other worlds. I ain't scared of you, mother suckers.
I wouldn't have said Bernie Mac. I'd have said Marlon Wayans.
Actually, that's better because he's quirky enough. If we talk about for the neighborhood, yeah. Marlon is definitely quirky enough. And then if we're going old school and we trying to be DEI, Richard Pryor, easy. That's a layup though. Richard's a layup. Yeah.
I don't know. Richard Pryor he'd be like Captain Kirk. Richard Pryor would go to all the different worlds and he's sleeping with everything.
Yeah. Yo, we should do that, man. We should make a note for remember we talked about side quests.
Yes.
Doctor Who. We should do a Doctor Who.
That would be a great one.
Yeah. Just for later. Just want to put that bug in your ear.
Doctor, we gonna solve any crimes? He's like, hold on, I gotta finish smoking this. Cut. No, we can't shoot this shit.
Oh man, yo, you get Chris Tucker. I said we gonna take off. Damn. Chris, we gonna save this world. I was just bullshitting.
You see him negotiating. You see him negotiating with the Daleks. Do you understand the words that's coming out of my mouth? The Daleks is just like, you know what? Exterminate. The hell with this.
Oh, yo, you stupid. Yo, oh man, y'all are dumb, man. Y'all are absolutely dumb. All right, let's get back to some of the questions.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. That's gonna be
okay. Oh, let's head back over in these Arcane streets just for a hot second. No, we all gas no breaks for a second. This is from Hashim said, Hashem, thank you, Hashem said, I love Arcane so much, but do you think that some characters had rushed relationships? Okay.
And I think that there was another comment that what maybe lends to this, where somebody said that you saw over several episodes that Vi and Jinx were having a knockdown, drag out fight, like they tried to kill each other.
Right.
And do we think that they made up too fast? I don't think so. And that's based on my own experience, because that Vi and Jinx thing, that was me and my little brother. Like, my little brother was, you know what I'm saying? When we were growing up, we were oil and water. I didn't fool with that dude, you know, and it wasn't until I left home and we got to both be adults that we actually gained a real relationship. And now we're like super close now. But growing up, absolutely not. But the thing is, it wouldn't have been better when Jinx came back to her and said, our father is alive. And Vi's like, you know what I'm saying, this better not be one of your tricks. I don't got time for this. I should just beat your ass right now. She said, no. I'm going to find our father. Like, you know. That to me was a special thing. And even Jinx trying to protect Vi when Warwick was coming at her at first when they were down the tunnels. You know, there's nothing more important than family. And unfortunately, family is probably the most complicated thing that there is out there. They had a very special little family unit because they were all that they had for a long time. And unfortunately, when you get to be adult and you start making decisions on your own and you get upset and you say some ugly things to each other, you can drift apart. But in the world that they're dealing in, you don't even know if you're going to be here tomorrow.
Right.
The best thing you can do is not let someone live rent-free in your head. Say what needs to be said. Have the uncomfortable conversation. Because it might be the last time you talk to them. A lot of people would give anything. They would give anything to have another conversation, to be able to talk to Xander again and tell him that they love him or whatever, you know. To talk to mom. Hell, Jinx would give anything to have another real conversation with Silco.
Right.
You know, and he was the bad guy through all of season 1. But that doesn't matter, you know. Bad people have children, you know, and they might be bad to the world and wonderful fathers or mothers or whatever. So
that's okay. I'm with you on that. I think for me, I think there's 2 reasons why things move fast in this series but still work, and for the same reason that things move fast in X-Men and work, is that I think we kind of get enthralled and enraptured in the beauty, because it's all these beautiful pictures that are kind of going by, and it can pass the time for us. There's not a lot of time to sit there and be bored or what's the word I'm looking for? Okay, let's just take Arcane for example. They do some really amazing things with passing time with cutscenes, you know. So even though the relationships may seem rushed, you'll get these beautiful, especially in season 2, we'll get these beautiful cutscenes and beautiful watercolors that are being used to kind of tell these stories, to kind of fill the gaps. And then on top of that, we get this amazing score and the soundtrack to go along with it. It's like the relationship may be rushed in a time sense, but we're still emotionally just as connected as if it would have been a longer amount of time spent, if that makes sense. I think that's the brilliance to how the show has been built. And I think you get a lot of that with X-Men 97, because truth be told, we shouldn't like any of the characters in X-Men 97. It happens so fast. It's just bang, 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 bang. Everything is just happening. but you do like it because there's something that still connects you, so that when stuff is moving fast, you still feel connected to the characters, and when bad things happen to them, you still feel some kind of way. And I think that really works even more so for Arcane. They have a way of compressing the time spent, so it doesn't feel as short as it really is.
Okay. I got thrown off because we got a weird comment in there, and I was like, I don't know where that's. Something about paying child support, and I was like, who are we talking about?
I have no idea. I don't know who they talk about.
Me.
Let's see. What else? I'm gonna go back to the top. What other question do we have?
You see Hashem's anime recommendations?
No, click it for me. I'm a little too far up on the comments.
Yeah, up at the top. He just dropped this bottom. So anime recommendations with mostly mature and deep themes, in his opinion. Legend of Galactic Heroes, Monster, Code Geass, Geass, I don't know how you say it.
Okay.
Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, Link Click, and 7 Death Note. That's his top 7 right there.
That's not bad. That's not a bad one. I can't lie. There's some that you got me interested, like Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
He put that number 1. He numbered those. So
I'm actually gonna
I've seen 3, 4, 5, and 7. I have not seen Legend of Galactic Heroes. I've not seen Monster. I know what Monster is, but I've never seen it. I've heard of Legend of Galactic Heroes, but never watched it. And I never even heard of Link Click. I don't know what that is.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Ashwin.
Yeah, see, it's more stuff to add to my watch list.
This one's coming from Sean Amazo said, you guys excited for the next season of Invincible? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, yes and no.
Absolutely. What? You're not excited about Invincible? Are we gonna have to fight?
No, it's not that I'm not excited about it. I'm apprehensive. Only because I know that Amazon Prime, they go there and they do stuff. Yep. But the crazy thing about it is I know what's coming. I've read the graphic novel. I've read the books. Yeah. I know what's coming.
Ooh, yeah.
And I don't know, is the show gonna go there?
I don't think they are.
And if they are,
I don't think they are. They're gonna nerf it. They're gonna nerf it, and if you nerf it, then it's not gonna have the same impact. So yeah, I know we're talking in code because we don't want to spoil it, but there's some really interesting sides of interesting perspectives of things that's going to be happening in Invincible. In case you're not familiar, Invincible is a story. It's like a superhero-ish Superman's tale about a kid who's the son of one of the greatest superheroes on the planet. And what does that look like in more real world-ish kind of situation? It's still cartoony, but it does take very adult themes in dealing. Like what does it mean to be the son of Superman? And then what happens when the responsibility falls on your shoulders? I guess that's the best way I can explain it without it being spoilery. And he's a high school kid, and he's got a girlfriend, best friend, trying to get into college, trying to be a good son, all of that. And how does that factor? And Robert Kirkland, is that the name of the creator?
Yeah, Kirkman. Mm-hmm.
Robert Kirkman. This is the same person that did the zombie movie, zombie show.
He did Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. There it is. Same person that did The Walking Dead did Invincible, and it's spectacular. They've done a very good adaptation, especially when it comes to compressing time, because this series is big, and it's got a lot of potential. So I am very, very excited about it. And also the voice actors. I don't think they get talked about enough. Let me see. You got J.K.
Simmons.
J.K. Simmons, killing it. Stephen Wynn, Stephen Yeun, who was a part of The Walking Dead as well. Sandra Oh from Grey's Anatomy.
And Killing Eve.
Yeah. Zazie Beetz is in it. Jason Montakis, the guy from The League. The League. I don't know if y'all ever seen The League. This dude, he's brilliant in The League. Yeah. So they've got some incredible voice actors to go along with it. The only drawback that I have with Invincible is that it's taking them a long time to put the content out. That's my only thing. It's just like when y'all need to hurry this up, and they do these mid-season breaks and stuff, and it can mess up the rhythm of a show. Like that's one thing. Another great thing I love about Arcane, the rhythm of the show is great. 3 good bangers give you a week to let it soak in. It hits you in the head with another 3 good bangers, give you a week to soak it in. I like that. I like that. That's dope for me. Yeah. Invincible don't have that. You get some here, you get some there, and you gotta wait a couple years.
But if you read the graphic novel, then you be like, yeah, you get it. You see why they chose to turn this into a show. You're like, oh, kind of the same thing as like if you had read the graphic novels of The Boys, then you're like, oh, okay, I see why they turned this into a show. And The Boys is something else altogether.
Yeah, The Boys is funny because there was a moment. I mean, people were really upset with The Boys this season because it exposed some right-wing ideologies and kind of like put them on blast. And they were mad and woke culture, that whole thing. But I was like, y'all didn't read the comic, did you?
But it's almost like they weren't paying attention to the show either. Yeah, it's like, what do you mean Homelander's the bad guy? Yeah. So stupid that show is like, what show have you been watching this whole time?
Are we watching the same thing? Like it's funny to me, but it's an election year.
Like, wasn't it the first episode where he let a whole plane full of people die? Like, what the hell? What have you been watching?
Oh man. Let me see. Let's see what else. I think I'm getting a little bit because we're at the 2-hour mark. Let's do like a 15 minute drill. We'll stay on for like 15 more minutes. Y'all get these questions in, and then we gotta tap out because it's already like 9 o'clock. Yeah. So work, man. It's super late for you.
9 o'clock for you.
Yeah. So there's that. Let me see. Warning: there will be spoilers. While you all think of any other quick questions real quick. Hey, Gwen just said, I'm just here to say, hey, thank you so much for popping in here. I'm curious, is anybody out there watching Dune Prophecy? That's another one that's hopefully we'll have that out tomorrow. I'm wondering if anybody's watching it. And if you are, how do you feel? Especially coming off of the heels of 2 of arguably one of the best sci-fi movies ever created by Villeneuve. I know I'm over here butchering this poor man name. In Dune 1 and Dune 2. How y'all feeling about it? The more I sit on it, the more I'm like, is it as good as I thought it was? I enjoyed it. I don't know. I thought I would wake up this morning and be like, oh man, this was way better than I thought. And I kind of woke up like, it's okay. It's just all right.
No, I think part of that is that we're not. They didn't give us anything. You're coming into a property where I'm not familiar with anybody. There's no real ties, besides the name Benny Jesuit. There's no real ties to anybody or anything that we know. So we have to sit there and wait for them to play out and fold out this whole universe for us in a way. We know a little bit of what's going on, but this is 10,000 years before the story that we know.
Yeah, that's the thing. In case you didn't know, this story takes place 10,000 years before the Kwisatz Haderach shows up.
Yeah, before Paul Atreides.
Before Dune 2. Before Dune 1 and 2. It takes 10,000 years before then. So it's got some. I feel like it has a lot of potential. I'll say that. I'm excited about the potential. And I think, what else it is? Like I said, it's an impossible ask for somebody to come off of the heels of arguably one of the greatest sci-fi movies of all time, visually, story-wise, acting-wise, directing-wise. And it's an impossible ask for any director to follow that up. And I felt bad for the director. for that pilot because the costuming isn't as good as it was in the movies. The special effects isn't as good. I think it's not bad, but following that up, like imagine like you just got done watching Godfather 2 and they were like, hey, we're doing this Godfather series. You'd be like, I don't care how, I don't care who you cast. I don't care who you cast. I don't care who the director is to follow up Godfather 1 and 2. You're gonna be like, I don't know. And that's how I kind of feel with this. Yeah,
we're gonna do a Godfather series on HBO.
You're like, right off the heels of it. I don't know. I was just saying, can we still chat about Arcane? Yeah, absolutely. That's the crux. We're just kind of like taking these little smaller orbits around.
And we may come back sometime much later, and because Dune Prophecies only had one episode come out so far, and so we'll do a oil check on that. We'll do a heat check on that later in the season. See where everybody's at, if everybody's even feeling that, what happens.
Yeah, I'm curious how the masses take to it. I am, because I know people that love this stuff. Like I feel the same way about this as I feel about Foundation. Foundation is amazing. It's really good, but it is not for everybody. And it's to the point where I don't even recommend it to some people because it's just it's a lot more higher level sci-fi than most people are comfortable with.
You recommend that to people and people come back to you like, "Ow, what is this? My head hurts."
I feel the same way about Severance. Severance is incredible. It's absolutely incredible, but it's hard to recommend, especially if you know the person's taste. It's a little bit, it's out there. It's different. It's really good, but not everybody's going to get it. Not everybody's going to like it. She said, "We be nerds." Yes. Yeah, we be nerding.
Sean Amaso said, "You still think that Marvel doesn't give their projects as much love as Arcane?"
Some they do, some they don't. Like we just got done talking about Daredevil, the Netflix version. That was some love that was in Daredevil. That was, you could tell. You could feel it. Punisher, that very first season of Jessica Jones. We're talking about street level. We're talking about street level series. But then there's some misses, it's a lot of misses. So it depends on the project.
Winter Soldier and the Falcon, and don't even get me started on Secret Invasion.
Oh God, how do you fumble? How do you fumble Secret? You have Sam Jack. It's the layup. It's literally a layup. You have Sam Jack. How do you fumble that? I'll never forgive them for that, for Secret Wars ever. Inexcusable, unforgivable.
Unforgivable.
How do you fumble that?
Hell, you could have made 6 episodes where Sam Jackson just dropped the MF every episode, and they'd had a better. I don't know. That was so disappointing. You mess up Nick Fury, and I don't even know what that was. I don't know what that was. She-Hulk. They thought they was doing something. Oh, we got She-Hulk. She's twerking with Meg Thee Stallion. It's like some of the worst looking CGI. Yet they spent $280 million. Where is that?
Teddy said, with a question mark, Daredevil, Punisher, Jessica Jones. Yeah, I just immediately went to the street level ones, where I think they're good because there was like the first of its kind for Netflix to get street level superhero films. They didn't have a big budget, so story had to be important. Had to.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about the first seasons of those because even all of them start tapering off a little bit after the first season. Well, maybe not. Maybe not
Okay,
Daredevil.
So Daredevil was pretty good almost through the whole first season, but then the second season kind of looked felt like a lot like the first season. The second season was like, wait, didn't we already do this? The Punisher, kind of same thing. Jessica Jones, kind of same thing.
Luke Cage,
same thing. What else was? Even though the second season was better, but they're both still craptastic on Iron Fist. Just
Ugh,
don't even waste
like
your time.
can't even say it.
Don't even. And then
Wow.
the Defenders wasn't
No,
really any good either because it
no lift.
had all of them in there, and they just I don't know who was writing the script in AI.
Yeah.
I don't know who was writing it.
And
Kindergarten.
also to defend Arcane, it's the first baby, it's the first kid that comes out. That's why we'll see, they're gonna have a lot of spin-offs and or things that are in the League of Legends universe, and we'll see if the quality still holds. Right now, this is the prodigal son, the prodigal child right now. We'll see how the mother kids look when they come out.
Marvel stuff on TV was the first stuff the Netflix stuff, or was it Agents of Shield?
Agents of Shield was the first one.
Okay,
it was before that.
Because it tied in.
And then there was a bunch of other ones that came around. Like they had, was it the Runaways?
Yeah, the Runaways first season was decent. The rest of
it, they had the Inhumans.
Don't even talk about that. It was awful.
Yeah, it was.
They did Cloak and Dagger.
Cloak and Dagger. All these are misses.
Yeah.
Legion. I remember Legion.
I heard Legion was really good though.
So yeah. So not all of them. Not all of them hit.
I heard Legion was really good. It was like 12 Monkeys on steroids.
I love 12 Monkeys. That would be a great.
That's what I heard Legion was like.
Let me write that down. 12 Monkeys.
I've never seen 12 Monkeys.
What?
It's like Brad Pitt and Bruce Willis, right?
Oh yeah, we're watching that tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We watch it. I'm getting my content tonight.
I've never seen
it. Yeah. Oh, you're in for a treat. 12 Monkeys is great.
They did a TV show, 12 Monkeys too, right?
Yeah, it did flop.
I heard it was good, but
you heard it was good? Oh, 12
I heard
Monkeys it was good. Amazing.
I heard the movie was great.
Sean has also said, can somebody explain to me what was wrong with Iron Fist? I've never seen the show.
Everything.
The lead. Right, start with the lead. The lead is awful.
So let's start there. So I can't remember his real name, but he is the guy who played
That's his name.
Loris Tyrell, the Knight of Flowers.
Yeah.
That was having the thing with Renly Baratheon in Game of Thrones. He was Queen Marjorie's brother.
Yep.
He played Danny Rand, the Iron Fist. He had zero, and I do mean zero. The Iron Fist is one of those things like Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi, you know what I'm saying, was the master of Kung Fu.
Yes.
The Iron Fist is supposed to be something like that, maybe even a level above Shang-Chi. That dude who played him had zero martial arts experience, like none. Zero. And guess what? There was nothing that any stunt coordinator could do to mask that. He came straight off Game of Thrones and started shooting that. He wasn't in shape. He looked awful. I would run my 8-year-old who's had about 4 months worth of martial arts training out there, and he would beat the Iron Fist ass. And he's 8. Yeah, Finn Jones. That was his name.
And then his chops just wasn't because he was supposed to have like these comedic takes. It just didn't land, and he didn't know kung fu. He looked awkward. Yeah, and then the story was trash too. It was just awful.
But then he's like Bruce Wayne. So he was the son of a billionaire, but he had got lost, on a plane crash that went down, and he became a monk. So now he's walking around, but it's just extra Caucasian. None of it wasn't believable. The story was bad, and then the second season was better. But I mean, when you start here, like underground, you're not even at surface level, you underground. So now you get to here just an inch above the floor. It's better, but I still am wiping my shoes on it. Like it's awful. Bad. Bad. You can't get back. You can't get back that time.
I can't get my time back. Teddy, this is a great idea. I think I might actually entertain this. Watch the 5-part miniseries, Bridging the Rift, Making of Arcane. It shows the dedication Ryan puts into his projects. That might be a fun in-betweener. Yeah. We could talk about that a little bit off channel. We can maybe knock that down. Thank you for that. Hey, I know it. Oh my gosh, it's 2:15. I got like maybe like 5 more minutes. Yeah, I know. Thank you. First off, thank you everybody that came out. It really means a lot. We're about to close this bad boy out, so let me go ahead and shout out Rakai one more time. We've had a great time. Me and Rakai just sit here and have these great conversations all the time, especially when another member of our esteemed gentleman hops in, Mr. Charles Babb. We just have at it, talk about anything and everything. And Rakai brings that energy every single time when we're making content. Rakai does have his own channel. He has his own YouTube channel. There is a link in the description. But before you head over there and hit that subscription button, which you should have already done, if you want to really show some love and say thank you, head on over to his Patreon page, become a subscriber. You won't be disappointed. He has these incredible deep dives where he has these conversations with you, just like he's talking to me about some of the things that we miss and some of this content that we love. Incredible insight. Rakai, can you tell people how they get in contact with you?
Yeah, patreon.com or youtube.com/Noop from the Ville, NUPEFROMDAVILLE. It will be in the description. You see how to spell it. Like I said, I'm doing this thing called media therapy where I take tropes and themes and just different things that I see from my perspective in some of these TV shows and movies and series that we watch. And I do kind of a deep dive on them. And this is actually, sometimes it's difficult to do because especially like with Arcane, the thing about Arcane is not pacing, not that there was a lot going on, but there was a lot going on. My mind was racing like 100 miles a minute. And I had to marinate. I had to sit on it and think just before I just ran something out there to y'all. I was like, hold on, let me pump the brakes. The first arc, I had to watch that again. I've watched the first arc like 7 times now because I had to watch it again and take my time because every time I watched it, there's stuff that I missed. And that's good television right there. Like, I don't care what it is. There's a lot of stuff, it's just like the original trilogy of Star Wars. Every time it comes on TV, I can watch it. It's good TV, and there's a lot of stuff that you watch and be like, I didn't see that last time around. We were just watching Game of Thrones. We watched Game of Thrones season 1, which we haven't seen in 15 years since it first came out. Well, I was a little bit late to the Game of Thrones party, but since I first watched it, I haven't watched it again. We watched it again. It's like there was a lot of stuff that came up, people we recognized. It's like, I did not see that at all the first time around. So, yeah, definitely come check out my pages. I try to put something up that's beneficial, something that can maybe help you get through your day. I didn't mean to be inspirational. It just kind of happened. I don't know, you can see that, even though I might say some things that are insightful, I do my natural inclinations to be kind of silly and say some old funny dumb shit. So I just end up saying some stuff inspirational. I just wanted you to go away from my page and feel good about my page and feel like if there's something that you're dealing with, that maybe you can get through a little bit better, because we all need that kind of that hand up sometimes. That sounded weird when I said it. I don't know, but
yeah. Hey, listen, don't worry if you can catch all that. There'll be a link in the description. You can get to it quick. Yeah, I think that's it, man. Any closing thoughts before we get about this bad boy?
Look what Sean said. What? I thought I just put it up. I am definitely not the goat. I don't even like goats. I like some lamb though. See, now I'm hungry.
Stay on target.
Keep drinking my water and lay my fat ass down.
I think it's a good place to stick a fork in it. Hey, thank you all so much. Thank you to everybody that donated to the super chat. It really does mean a lot. I hope we got a chance to answer everybody's questions. We hope we made everybody feel seen. I think that is very important when it comes to our content. Sometimes it can get a little crazy. This time it was a little bit more chill and everybody could get their voices heard. We are definitely going to do another one of these after the season finale of Arcane. And me and Rakai have just talked just in general of maybe just becoming a little bit more consistent.
And you know, the wonderful thing is the one that we do after this season or series finale of Arcane, we will also have MC with us because she is sick. So I know she would have loved to jump in these Arcane streets. She got a lot to say. She's an artist herself, so yeah, it's gonna be a really, really good conversation when we do this again.
Yeah. Well, that's it for us. Thank y'all, and we will catch you in the next episode. All right, y'all, take care.